Hello, Magnetic Queens, and welcome to the Toned and Transformed podcast, the place where we get to tone our body, look fabulous, and grow on our spiritual journey with Jesus so that we can not only look fabulous, but live a life full of purpose, joy, peace, and salvation. And today I'm gonna talk about an important topic when it comes to leveling up in life. This is a thing that if we could choose, we would choose not to have to do it, but we cannot skip this step, and there is beauty in taking the step. And what I am talking about is stepping out in faith, the power of getting out of your comfort zone. And this is just so important because if we stay in our comfort zone, nothing happens. Albert Einstein said that the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and to expect different results. And nothing could be more true than that. If you reflect and think back, when have you ever gotten something different, something more out of life than by doing the same? The things that you're doing right now, they're keeping you where you are. So if you are happy and not just content, but truly happy where you are at right now, then you can stay in your comfort zone. But life in general is just about growth. And we are programmed to grow. We are never truly happy if we keep stagnated our entire life. So if you go years without any new goals in mind, then you will not truly be happy. So this is what we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna give you also a lot of testimonies because I think it's often easier to relate if you hear about another person and if you hear the power of getting out about the power of getting out of your comfort zone. And this often just encourages you to do it yourself and to see what happened for you, because big things and miracles can happen to step out of your comfort zone. And the reason for that is that if we do something different, we get different results. And also that God created us to stepping out of our comfort zone. He really wants us to step out in faith and to follow Him. And for faith, to really have faith, we need to be sometimes in uncertain situations, because if we're where we have always been, then we don't need any faith. So this is one of the reasons why God also calls us to step out of our comfort zone and why this is so important. So through hard work and trusting God, you will get to places you would never have imagined in life. So I want you to reflect. If you have been in the same place for a long time and you feel like you're stuck, you feel like nothing is happening, like you want to change something, you want to level up in some way, shape, or form, then think about when was the last time that you stepped out of your comfort zone, that you did something that you were scared of and that you did not necessarily want to do. So think about when the last time was, and if the last time was a long time ago, then you know why you are where you are at right now, and you know how to change it, because I'm gonna give you some practical tips. First of all, I want to start off with a little personal story and also with some examples how stepping out of my comfort zone got me to different places. And one thing, if you ask me when was the last time I really stepped out of my comfort zone, it was a short time ago. It was a church. I was serving there. I was early there to help to prepare the place. And then somebody said that the translators in church, they're sick and that they would love for somebody, or it would really be helpful for them if somebody can translate the preach. And it is an entire preach. The preach was from an Australian pastor. It was from English to German. And it was simultaneously, like the person does not do a pause, you have to translate on the go. And in this moment, and this is what you get when you really start having a close relationship with God and feeling Him every day. Like I feel when He's talking to me, I'm feeling when the Holy Spirit makes me uncomfortable. And when I think back on that, I always had this feeling. This was like this pounding feeling in my chest where I would get nervous, but I knew I had to take a step. And now I know that it's the Holy Spirit. Before I didn't know that, now I know. And it's exactly the feeling I got when she asked about if somebody could translate. I got this feeling, and I heard literally God telling me, go translate my word. And I was like, wow. So I knew I had to do this. And little backstory, I studied translation a few years ago, like many years ago. I never finished my studies. I ended up being a personal trainer and a coach. But I did study it, and yeah, but I never worked as a translator. But languages have always been a passion for me. So when she asked for somebody to translate, I just felt like I have to do this. So I walked up to her and I said, I can do it if you find nobody else to translate. So I wanted to leave the option open that I can be somebody they can come back to if they find no one better. And they immediately were happy and told me, yeah, then you can translate the preach. And I was like, oh no, what did I get myself into? I was even more nervous then. And I thought, like, really, what am I doing? Am I even able to do that? And I started getting in my head a little bit. I was like, what if I stay stuck? What if I don't know? But one big thing that helped me remembering is that it's not about me. This mission that God gave me was not about me. It was about translating God's word. It was all about Him. And when God guides you to do something, He will give you the ability and He will give you the direction. And immediately God brought Moses into my mind. When God sent Moses to Egypt, to the Pharaoh, to talk to him, Moses said to him, I cannot speak. I am not a good speaker. And he said, I will be with you. I will go with you. I will give you the ability to talk to the Pharaoh. And that's what he did. And in the end, he brought his people out of Egypt with the help of God. And this came to my mind. It was like, okay, this is not about me. This is what God sent me to do. And if He sent me to do that, He will give me the ability. I don't have to look at myself and my flaws, at where I might be failing. I just need to look to Jesus. And it was really an experience because before I had to translate, we were singing, we were praising, and normally, for example, in school, when I had a presentation and other people were presenting before me, I could not focus on the other people because I was focusing on myself, on how well I'm gonna be doing, and if what do I need to say, and I could just not enjoy the other people. Doing the presentation, and if it would be, if like I would have not been transformed, it would have been the same there in church. I would not enjoy the worship songs, but I would just think about how am I going to translate. But thinking that it's not about me, it's about Jesus, just helped me so much. And I was enjoying the worship songs. I was not thinking about how am I going to translate it because I knew you got it. Jesus, you got it. You're going to make me translate this thing. And this is exactly what happened. Like, I would say it wasn't perfect, but it turned out well. I got the message through. I translated the whole preach, and I was so incredibly happy that God gave me that mission. And why I'm telling you this is that I wanted to tell you that stepping out of your comfort zone leads to bigger things. And what this led to is that I got now invited to be part of that translation team at church. So now I get to translate, to help translate God's word. And this is just such a big honor to me. I am just starting out with that, but this is a new task that I got, a new thing that I get to do in life, a new challenge. And in the beginning, will it be uncomfortable? Yes, the first few times for sure it will be uncomfortable because it's something new and it's something that I have to practice to get good at. But I am so excited for that. I am so excited for this task. It really fulfills my heart to be able to do that. And this just came out of obedience, of me going and stepping out of my comfort zone, stepping out of my faith, and translating this preach, even though I was not prepared at all. So this is how, like, stepping out in faith and stepping out of your comfort zone could lead to greater things. And I've seen it so many times in my life. When I moved countries, for example, when I moved to Switzerland, like, I did not know anybody, just my ex-boyfriend, but other than that, nobody. I was in my comfort zone in Austria. Totally. I had my business. I was already independent. I was living a good life, and I came here to be employed again and to start all over again. And was it easy? No. The first 3 months were the worst 3 months of my life, but it paid off big time because I could not imagine not living in Switzerland. So stepping out of your comfort zone, stepping out in faith, does not always run smoothly. It can come with hardships, but in the end, it will pay off big time. Whether it is now or whether it is a few weeks, months, years from now, it will pay off big time. I have so many more examples in my life, but I want you to think about your life. When did you get out of your comfort zone and how did it feel? I'm gonna tell you one more story. I was doing a challenge where I would talk to 20 people a day, to 20 strangers a day, and this was just so out of my comfort zone. But I did it because I bought a course, and this was one of the tasks. And out of the people that I spoke to, I did this for 4 weeks. I got to know one very good friend of mine, and I talked to him on the train because I was doing this task. And if I would have not have done this, he would not be my friend right now. And we had just so many beautiful, so many great moments, and we still have them. And he would not be in my life if I would have not stepped out of my comfort zone. So this is like the starting point, just to make you aware of how important it is to step out of our comfort zone. And also God wants us to do that, because God's plan for us is not to be stagnant. He calls us to trust Him. And again, we are only truly in faith and we're only truly trusting Him when we are stepping out of our comfort zone. And He wants us to grow because He has a purpose for all of us. He wants us to do big things. And the reason why most people, they don't do big things in life and they always stay kind of okay but not fulfilled, and they dream about big things but don't get those big things, is because they're not willing to get out of their comfort zone. Whether it is quitting their job to pursuing their business, leaving their relationship that does not fulfill them, moving countries, or whatever, when you know that this is the thing that you need to do to go to the next level, do it. Do it. Trust in God, because He will be with you. So another reason is also that you can only please God when you really have faith in Him. In the Bible it says in Hebrews 11:6, and without faith it is impossible to please God. Then the verse goes on to saying, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him. But I want to point out the part where it says, without faith, it is impossible to please God. If you love God, you naturally want to please Him. And you please Him with having faith in Him, with loving Him, of course, and with having faith in Him. So, how do you show your faith? You step out in faith. You don't stay in your comfort zone. And often, what I've seen in my life so much is that often God does not reveal you the entire plan. He doesn't say, go do this for me so I can give you that, or so I can lead you there. Often, He only tells us the next step. He tells us, go do this. And also, often, this step does not make any sense. But what happens when you obey Him and when you do this step, even though you don't understand why, is crazy. Because by going step by step, He will show you the next step and the next step, and then suddenly you will understand why you did all that. Then everything will be visible, and then you will see His entire plan, and you will notice that it was His plan all the time, that it has been the plan the entire time. So going those little steps really pay off. It's always about taking little steps, whether it's in fitness or whether it's in faith. And what I have learned is that if in the Bible things are mentioned twice or more times, it is something that God really wants to highlight to us and to teach us and for us to keep in mind. And one thing that I find in two verses, and probably more, but I have pointed out two verses here, is God saying, do not fear, I am with you. It is in Joshua 1:9. Joshua was the one leading his people to the promised land. He was the follower of Moses, and he was young, and he was, kind of scared to have this new task. He had to fight against enemies to take over the promised land. And God told him, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. And that's what He did. He was with him, and they were able to take over the promised land. And the same thing says in Isaiah 41:10. This is another complete different place of the Bible, and it says, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Two complete different Bible places, and it's the same. It comes back to the same. Do not be afraid. Be courageous. I'm your God, and I'm with you. So you can really trust that when you step out in faith, when you step out of your comfort zone, and when you have a relationship with God, when you have God by your side, He will be there with you, and He will guide you through every step. You can rely on Him, and He will not leave you hanging, and He will not leave you alone. He calls us to be courageous. This is why getting out of your comfort zone is important, because this shows courage, and this is what God ultimately really wants from us. So it also really benefits you. Stepping out of your comfort zone has a lot of benefits, a lot of side benefits other than getting to a new place in life and leveling up. Stepping out of your comfort zone builds resilience and confidence. Every time that you step out of your comfort zone, you become more resilient and you have more confidence for the next time. It gets easier and easier because you know that you are guided, that God is with you, and that just better things come out of stepping out of your comfort zone. So if you have been doing this for a few times, it just gets so much easier. With every time that I step out of my comfort zone, it gets easier. And I would really recommend you to look for ways every day to step out of your comfort zone, or at least every week. There should be no week passing by without stepping out of your comfort zone. And when you do this, when you practice stepping out of your comfort zone at least every week, you will see your life skyrocket and you going to places you could not have even imagined or dreamed of. Also, stepping out of your comfort zone allows God to work through you and to strengthen your trust in Him. When you have a relationship with God and when you obey Him, even though it does not make sense for you, you start building such a deep trust in Him, and this is your strength. Your trust in God is your strength, and this will help you master so many situations in life. Also, it leads to spiritual and physical transformation. When you step out in faith, it transforms you from inside. It just does something to you. It makes you more bold, more courageous. It really makes you a person with a success mindset. And getting out of your comfort zone, it also transforms your body. When you get better in the gym, when you get stronger, when you start strength training and get out of your comfort zone, this is what makes your body toned. This is what makes your booty grow. And this is just what gives you this dream shape. You cannot just lift the same weights and expect different results. So it also transforms your body. And it enables you to fulfill your God-given potential. You have so much potential. Everybody of us has so much potential. God gave us so many talents and gifts, and you will never be able to discover them if you don't step out in faith, if you don't obey God. So get out of that comfort zone and you will get to know the talents and the gifts you have and the real potential that you have. And even though you may think you don't have enough potential, you don't have what it takes, you have what it takes because God gave you what it takes, because you're a child of God, and especially when you have a relationship with Him, He will reveal what He has for you. He will guide you through everything and He will give you gifts and talents. So it's not about you anymore, it's about what God can do in you, because God will glorify Himself through you. And this just gives you so much boldness, so much authority, and you will just level up in life. And this will make you appear, not only appear, but be more magnetic and also be a light for others. Now, I want to give you 3 practical examples in each the fitness area and in your faith on how you can step out of your comfort zone so you can start right away and level up. So, let me start with fitness. So there's many different things you can do in the fitness part to get out of your comfort zone. But one thing that we're gonna start with is doing something new that you may have been afraid of, and it might be joining a gym. Often we are afraid of the criticism of other people, and then therefore we don't join a gym. And so joining a gym, or if you want to start slowly, then you can start working out at home. If you don't work out at home, or if you don't work out at all, working out at home will also be stepping out of your comfort zone. And from there, you can go to joining the gym, because if you stay with training at home and you have no additional weight, then you will like get to a certain level if you have not trained before, but then you will stay stuck there if you don't go from there. So from there, you're going to join the gym, because it's about leveling up and changing the things that we're doing. Or you can, if you're doing group classes, switch to lifting weights, because as I've told you many, many times, group classes are not it. They're not going to give you the toned hourglass look It's only strength training that does this, that builds you a toned body and a really lean and like tight physique. It's not the group classes, it's the strength training. So I know that so many women avoid strength training and they say it's not my thing, but in reality, and I've seen it so many times, it's not their thing, but it's just that they're afraid of it because it's uncomfortable, because it's something new, it's something that they don't know, something that they have never done before. They don't feel secure in it, and this is why they dislike it, because we often dislike the things that we do not know. So if you really want to shape your body, start lifting weights. And if you don't know how to do it, ask the trainer in your gym to make you a plan, and even better, hire a coach. Hire a coach that will get you there and that knows what he's doing, that has transformed other people, and that knows how to get you to your goal, because then stepping out of your comfort zone in that area will pay off so much more, because you will see the results fast, and this will keep you motivated and show you why you stepped out of your comfort zone. The other way you can step out of your comfort zone, if you're already strength training, for example, you can or you should increase the weight in your training. If you notice that it's already getting easy, increase the weight. Or you can also do an intensity technique to really like feel that muscle, add something that you have not done to your training before, or change your workout routine. If you have been doing the same routine for months, then change it after a few months. And or push through those last reps when your body is already telling you everything hurts. Push through those last reps. This is how you get out of your comfort zone. And if you're aiming to get out of your comfort zone every week, training in the gym is the best way you can do it, because you will be forced to push through that pain and to step out of your comfort zone every week. But if you go to the gym already, then I would really encourage you to step out of your comfort zone additionally to that, not only in the gym. Then something else that you can also do is to start a new challenge, whether it's with nutrition, whether it is with training. Um, I have tried so many things because also I love to experience things. I love to try things to then give to my clients if I love the things. I have done my gut challenge where I ate to repair my gut, to accelerate my metabolism, and also to reduce my waste. And what I got out of this is that I really managed to reduce my waist and to keep myself in shape so much more easily after that gut diet that initially started out as an experiment, and now I turned it into a program. It's my famous Flat Belly Reset program, and it has transformed so many bodies in such a short time, and I never would have created that program have I not tried it before. I heard about this gut diet, I decided to give it a try, and is it easy? No, it's not easy. For 2 to 4 weeks, you have to follow a specific diet. Afterwards, you can eat all the foods again, but for this specific time, it is out of your comfort zone. But it pays off big times. It paid off in my health, it paid off in my looks, and it has never been so easy for me to keep myself in shape than after I did this gut diet. I also did other challenges. I did app challenges. I did a lot of different challenges to try things out, and it really pushes you and motivates you. So do challenges, but challenges that make sense, not like body weight squat challenges where you increase the number of the squats, because I just want you to really think whether a challenge makes sense or whether it does not make sense. But if it's something that may make sense, you can ask somebody that is experienced if this makes sense, and then go for it. Go for it and challenge yourself in a new way, and you will find so many things out. you will see how your body works. And the bonus tip is that you could also plan a photo shooting, and this is also out of the comfort zone of so many people. But if you plan a photo shooting ahead, this gives you the motivation to stick to your plan and to really follow this transformation, because you're transforming yourself for that photo shooting. So those are all tips on how to level up in your shape and get that bikini body that you desire. Now let's go on to how to step out in faith in the area of faith, or how to get out of your comfort zone in faith, because God calls us to do that. And what I want to say first, before you do those steps, it is highly important, and I really want to highlight this, to get the foundation. And this is getting consistent with God. So we cannot build a house without a foundation. So if you haven't had alone time with God, if you're not reading the Bible, then I would recommend you to first do this to come closer to God, because this way you will get to know God's character, you will get God's wisdom, and you will know how to share things with others. And also, you will start hearing God talking to you, and you will know how to step out in faith, because the one who tells you how you have to step out in faith is God. So first, get consistent with God, start looking for Him, start searching Him, and then do those steps. So if you're not consistent with God, if you don't really understand how His character is, if you are not spending time with Him, if you're not spending your mornings with Him, then start with that. Start with that, and then God will keep on speaking to you. If you're already doing that, one way you can step out of your comfort zone is to share your faith with somebody, with a friend or a coworker, somebody that is not a believer. And this is something that can be really uncomfortable in the beginning, and that we often feel resistant to do or ashamed to do. And it was definitely the case for me. When I started getting closer to God and I started reading the Bible, I read this verse. It's in Matthew 9:37-38, and it says, "Then Jesus said to his disciples, 'The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Therefore, pray earnestly to the Lord of the harvest to send out workers into his harvest.'" I already told this story in another episode. What this means is that the harvest is plentiful. So God's love is plentiful. His salvation is there. But the workers are few. And the workers are the ones who share the gospel, who share about Jesus' love and salvation. So therefore, send out workers to do this work. And when I read this verse back then, God was speaking to me. And I understood this verse immediately, and I knew what it meant. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was reading this verse and I said out loud, "I understand it, but I'm never gonna be your worker." What I was saying was, I am not gonna talk about you to other people. This is uncomfortable for me. I do not want to do that. I will never do that. And I think back then, God was just laughing and thinking, "You will see." And well, this changed. My opinion changed. So for the longest time, I did not talk about it. I was like somebody who went to church, and I didn't even dare to tell my friends that I go to church. And then I was really praying to God for boldness in my content, for boldness in life in general, but just in general. I just wanted to be more bold. And he delivered that. He gave me boldness, but it started off with sharing his word, because I felt like he was telling me, if you don't even dare to talk about me, even though you love me, even though you believe in me, even though you are getting closer to me, even though you spend time with me, how can you expect to be bold if you cannot be bold about who you are and about what you're about? If you love me and you cannot share this, how do you want to be bold in other areas? And this is how I started to be more bold. How I started was that I have this devotional book that I share every day, but back then I wasn't sharing it. And I wanted to do some kind of fasting. So with fasting, you can fast food, like not eat fast food, but fast and not eat. Or you can give up things that, like for example, like watching TV for a time or scrolling through social media or whatever. And back then I thought, like, what should I fast? And then what should I give up to God? And then I thought, okay, God, I'm gonna give you my voice. I am gonna give you my voice in the sense of I'm gonna start talking about you through those devotionals. I'm gonna start sharing those devotionals every day on my Instagram stories. But I will not guarantee you that I will continue doing this after my fast. My fast was for 21 days, so I said for 21 days I will share reward. But after that, I will not guarantee that I keep doing it. And then I started, and if you go back to the first stories that I did, I was kind of scared. I was kind of terrified to share that, and I think you can see the insecurity in my eyes. But I was obeying, and I did that. And in this time, so many beautiful things happened. So many people spoke to me and told me that those things have helped them so much. Even people who are not believers, people started asking me more about God, about things, because they were going through things in life, and I was able to help so many people with that. And after those 21 days, I kept going because this gave me the boldness. This gave me the boldness to share who I really am, what I really believe in, and to share about God's love, which is the one thing that God calls us to do. So if you have a relationship with God, you're not called to stay silent about that and to be happy about your salvation. You're called to share this with others. And this is what He did in me. So this is how I started sharing my faith. And so should you. If you follow Jesus, you're called to do that. You don't have to start doing it on your social media. You can talk to a friend about that, or yeah, whatever opportunity comes up. And for that, you can pray to God. Give me an opportunity to share the gospel. Give me an opportunity to share my faith. And with every time, He will make you more bold and more secure in that. Then another way you can step out of your comfort zone, if you're going to a church and they're looking for people to serve, you can start serving at your church. And this has also been my personal story. Serving at your church is volunteering to help there with whatever, like with things that they need. And in my church, like there are people, there are volunteers, and they're serving, and then they serve like 1 to 2 Sundays at church. And I was going to church for 1.5 years, and I did not serve because I honestly didn't want to. I was in my comfort zone. I was like, I'm just going and listening to the message and connecting with my people and just enjoying everything. And I'm in my comfort zone because, like, going there and helping everything, it's work. It's actually fun work because I started doing it, but it's work. You're not just chilling, you're doing work. And for the longest time, I was resistant. And God told me, start serving in my church. And I heard this calling, and I was like, okay, I'm going to start. I'm going to start serving at your church. So I went to the pastor and I said that I want to serve, and they got me into the host team. And then I was like helping prepare the room and everything. And this is how I started serving at church. And from serving at church, the day where I was serving at church, they said there was the day where they had no translator. So that's the day when they asked for somebody to translate. And if I would not have served the church with helping making the room ready, I would not have been there for when they ask that they need a translator. So this was the reason that I was there and I could say, I'm gonna translate. So stepping out in faith one time led to stepping out in faith another time, and this led me to be now on the translation team and to be able to translate God's word, which I am so excited to do. So this is how far stepping out of your comfort zone can just take you, and you will start enjoying it. Now I really enjoy serving at church because I know I'm serving God. So yeah, this is one thing you can do. Or also say yes to God's call. Say yes to when He tells you to do something, even though it's uncomfortable. Maybe He tells you to do this and this step and it doesn't make sense, but just do it. Or if you're not a believer, but you feel like God has been calling on you, you have been feeling this and you have been curious and you feel like there's something and God is really like, wanting a relationship with you, say yes to His call. Say yes and commit to Him and start looking for Him, and He will reveal Himself to you in a crazy way. And this is another way you step out of your comfort zone and your life will change forever in a positive way. I'm not saying that it does not come with also challenges, because following God comes with challenges. Jesus talks about taking up your own cross and following Him, but the bliss and the peace you get from really truly following Him is just something else. Like nothing in this world can compare to this. No riches, no car, no love, no spouse, nothing can compare to having a true relationship with God. And another way you can step out of your comfort zone if you're deeper in your faith and you have been doing this for a time is to try out fasting. Whether it is fasting by not watching TV for a time or stopping social media, or it is fasting food for an entire day, which I started doing this year. Try it out, because it is out of your comfort zone. It was out of my comfort zone, but it gets easier each time. And when I fast, I hear God speaking to me. Maybe not the same day, but the following week. And I hear Him revealing things to me that are really so helpful for my next steps in life and that have helped me level up so much. So I do not want this episode just to be a listen and skip episode, but I want you to take action on that. I want this episode to bless you. So here's how you can take action. Start by doing one thing that is out of your comfort zone, like tomorrow or even today. Start by, I don't know, maybe you have been thinking about joining the gym or joining a dance class or whatever. Do it. Do it. Get into action, because it does not have to be perfect, because perfectionism like slows down your success. Action comes before perfectionism, so take action and just know that transformation happens on the other side of fear. When you do something, when you want to do something new, you will always be afraid in the beginning. It's normal to feel discomfort when we're stepping out in faith or when we're getting out of our comfort zone in any area or in fitness or whatever. The fear is there and the discomfort is there in the beginning, because otherwise it would not be stepping out of your comfort zone. So just do it, even though it feels uncomfortable, because your mind and the devil will always try to keep you in the same place, because he does not want you to level up. He does not want you to fulfill God's purpose. That's why he will start telling you, you cannot do this. You're not good enough for that. You're never gonna through with that? What will other people say about that? That's the devil talking to you, and he makes you believe that your mind is saying this to you, that you're saying it to yourself. So don't listen to him. Don't listen to your mind. Don't listen to the devil. Listen to God's voice and go step out in faith. Get out of your comfort zone. And if you feel like you're stuck and this is really hard for you, then pray about that. Pray about that to God and ask Him to change your heart, to make you more bold, to make you more courageous, to help you step out in faith, and to help you, or to reveal to you why you're afraid to step out in a certain area, because often things are in our childhood. So tell Him to reveal to you why it is like that, and then reflect on it, and then He will reveal it to you. So to make a summary of this episode, again, growth comes from stepping out in faith and stepping out of your comfort zone in both areas, in fitness and in faith. Then again, take action. Just get out of your comfort zone. If you're walking with God, know that God is with you. And if you're not walking with God, walk with God, or just be confident and take risks. Because if you don't take any risks, you're not going to level up. And ultimately, just know that God is with you. He is with you through every step. This is His promise, and He will lead you to bigger things. So I hope this episode blessed you, and if you stepped out of your comfort zone, let me know in the comments. I would love to know, or tell me about your last experience, about the last time that you stepped out of your comfort zone and how this has blessed you. And I will see you next week. Bye bye.